I wanted to talk about this crazy woman. She's on the Jim Bakker show. She's an end times preacher, and I think she has the hots for Xerxes. You'll see why in a minute. If you're not familiar with who Jim Bakker is or his show, he's no stranger to, well, fraud and being thrown in prison. His ministry was almost shut down during the pandemic because he was selling snake oil, colloidal silver, to all those old people, land and money, and then telling them lies about the pandemic. Jim Bakker is a real piece of shit. What this woman is going on about, and the purpose of this woman rambling on, I think has a lot to do with the fact that she's just trying to normalize the absurd. And what she's going to be rambling on about is connected to conspiracy theories. That's why I wanted to share this and give commentary on it as needed. And I also wanted you to look at those two douchebags on stage with her. See what they do. They just sit there and they nod and agree. Snake oil salesmen, a lot of them. Okay, let's get this thing going.
After Derek and I got married, one night, this other Derek appears in our bed. The real Derek is lying down next to me. Other Derek sits right up out of him. It startled me. I knew that was not Derek. And so I asked this critter, "Who are you?" Because he clearly wanted to have sexual relations. And he said, "Come on, I'm your husband." I said, "Who are you?"
Maybe rather than asking this creature that you know probably isn't real, "Who are you?" maybe you should have been asking this: "Have I forgotten to take my medication? Am I going insane? Is this hallucination? Do I need to seek the services of a mental health professional?" These are all the things you should have been asking. But you didn't. And actually, I don't believe that this actually happened. I just believe that you got the hots for Xerxes after watching the movie 300. And you don't know how to tell your husband you don't love him anymore because you think that this is hot. Alright, now enough of that. Let's get back to the video.
And he had the nerve to claim to be Ahasuerus, Xerxes. Well, other Derek seriously wanted to invite me to use my free will to do something that was going to pull me away from God.
You know, maybe this has something to do with her, Bible fetish, if you will. Xerxes was the emperor of the Medo-Persian Empire. He's a villain of the 300 movie, but he's also the drunken, indecisive king who lets everyone manipulate him in the Book of Esther. Maybe she has a fantasy of being the queen. After all, Xerxes Ahasuerus kicked Vashti out after she refused to disrobe in front of everyone, at least according to commentators like Maimonides or Josephus. So, you know, I'm just having fun with that. Maybe she's having the desire to be wanted by Xerxes. That's all I'm going to say. Let's continue, because it's going to get weird. And she's going to bring conspiracy theories into this real quick.
So this last time, I knew he was really desperate. And I asked him again, who are you? He told me the same answer, and I said, I am not going with you. This was an internal dialogue. Finally, I said, I've had enough in my mind. I reached up. I grabbed his face, and I said, you are a liar, and Jesus is real. And I pulled that face off, and beneath it was a reptile. And he had little creatures with him this time. He brought these little halfling creatures, and they looked like, I don't know, gargoyles. They were very reptilian as well. So beneath that face of Derek was a reptilian serpentine creature, probably similar to what was visiting the Anasazi.
Wow.
Well, the Bible says
The Bible says a lot of things. Some things the Bible says are helpful. Some things the Bible says are full of nonsense. And some things the Bible says are actively harmful. You need to use your brain when reading the Bible. Now, what this woman is doing is she's trying to normalize the conspiracy theory of the lizard people. People have murdered their children and their spouses, neighbors, and family members because of this batshit crazy conspiracy theory. And it's connected to the Cuberts, if you know what I mean. And let me say this, Jim Bakker's church, it's well within the cult of Trump. And we need to actually encourage people to question this shit. You saw how those douchebags who were sitting next to her were just nodding and agreeing. This is what your brain looks like on conspiracy theories. Because the simplest explanation to a conspiracy theorist is always the wrong one. That's a dumbass's razor. And you become more or less used to the absurd. And those who believe in absurdities will eventually commit atrocities. And that's what these people are aiming for. Well, I think that's all for today. If you like this content, please share, like, and subscribe, and I'll have something a bit more fun